So we were talking about some of the draft quarterbacks that you like. And again, you have Josh Rosen head and shoulders above.
Yeah, I think he's clearly the best pro prospect.
You think it's not close.
Yeah, I believe he's clearly the best pro prospect.
Yet
yes.
What we're hearing from Chris Canty, who works at 98.7 ESPN New York and also played for the Giants, the Cowboys, was drafted by the Cowboys and finished up with the Ravens. They are all in on Sam Darnold, and they're thinking maybe if they might try and move up to 1 to get Sam Darnold. Cleveland seems to like Sam Darnold the best. So what is it in your evaluation that separates Josh so much from everybody else?
Yeah, I think the big key about when you in the National Football League is everything starts with protection. Nothing works unless you understand your issues up front in terms of pass protection.
You're talking to two fathers of offensive linemen, so God bless you for that.
So, yes, there you go. So part of what the issue is, I think, when you watch Darnold play is that he'll miss a side adjust. He likes to create. Now, you like that about him. One thing about Josh Rosen is that he really creates no offense. He's not a, move outside the pocket a little bit and create
plays
offense.
the offense.
Yeah, he plays inside the offense. Which, look, I think that you need to be able to do first and foremost, but your ability to create offense, I think a lot of times is, what can help you elevate everybody's play around you. And I think that is what people like about Sam Darnold's game. Sam Darnold is good at creating off-schedule plays. And if you think about some of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, they're very good at doing it. It's Aaron Rodgers and it's Russell Wilson and it's guys like that. So I think people get enamored with that type of thing. The issue I would say is that oftentimes it leads to mistakes and turnovers, which have certainly plagued him last year. And I think Sam Darnold, in my opinion, is too eager to go and try to do that stuff. So if you're eager to go to do, get out and create offense, I think that's sometimes indicative of not knowing what to do inside the structure of the offense.
He was Darnold, one of 2 quarterbacks. Shane Morris, Brett, I think was the other. Central Michigan, was it Shane Morris, Central Michigan?
Correct.
Both had over 20 turnovers. The only 2 quarterbacks that had over 20 turnovers, interceptions, and fumbles. I think he had 9 fumbles and 13 interceptions. As far as quarterbacks, we played the quarterback carousel in the NFL this year of moving around. Which stop do you think is best for that team and that quarterback of all the quarterbacks that moved this offseason?
Cousins to the Vikings. I think it's an upgrade at the position. I think Cousins can clearly play like a starter. Because of the talent that they have in Minnesota, it's a great fit for Kirk to be successful because, I do think, and there's kind of, a lot, said about that. What type of player is Cousins? Is Cousins hey, go anywhere and make them better type of player? Or, more along the lines of if you put a really good supporting cast around him, that's when he'll thrive. I think that's what he's found. I think it ended up being a perfect match for both of them, in terms of the need at the position of someone that can play like a starter and can play like that for a while. And then 2, the type of offense, it'll be a West Coast based type offense and it'll be with really good supporting cast.
Tim Hasselbeck with us in studio. And just so people understand, Tim was the first guy in the 2014 run up to the draft who broke down tape and said to me specifically, I don't think this Johnny Manziel thing is going to work, and here's why. And it had nothing to do with all the other stuff that went off with football, off the field, and the other issues that he's battling and trying to get back to. And God bless him, we wish him all the success in the world. But you were the first guy looking at the tape that said, here are my concerns about him as a quarterback at the next level. And a lot of the things that you were talking about bore fruit in terms of what we saw with Johnny in his first attempt to play in the NFL. He's trying to get back in, and we'll see what happens there going forward. So Tim knows how to break down the position is what I'm trying to say. So then there's the question of Lamar Jackson. And our own Bill Polian was one of many people we should bring up who brought up the idea of maybe his best position is at a wide receiver. So should Lamar Jackson make the switch to wideout? Make the switch brought to you by Pennzoil Synthetics, taking synthetic motor oil performance to a whole new level. Make the switch to Pennzoil Synthetics today. If you were looking at drafting Lamar Jackson, how would you handle it?
I would draft him as a quarterback and let him fail at trying to play the position.
Not that you want him to fail.
No. I would draft him at the position with the expectation or with the hope and the upside that he could be Michael Vick plus. I think that is truly the upside for him. When you watch him run the football, just start there. When you watch him run the football, it's similar to Vic when Vic was in college. He oftentimes is the fastest guy in the field, and it's not close. And that is, I think, why there are people that, immediately are enticed to make the jump to wide receiver. Now, or the link to wide receiver. He's a better passer than Vic was in college, plain and simple, and that's also not close.
Right.
I believe that there is enough evidence of him playing inside the pocket and showing good accuracy and arm strength and all of that.
By the way, Vic went number 1 overall.
Yeah.
Let's be clear about that context.
I believe that he is good enough. He's shown enough promise that you could maybe that you would want to work with it. Here's what I would say, and I know it's funny. Every time I say it, people are like, "Well, there's no way he would do it." He should have stayed in school another year. And people say, "Well, what did he have to gain?" You don't know, what his situation is if he wants to come. I don't know all that stuff, but he had another year of eligibility, and I think that if he would have stayed another year, and improved even more as a passer, shown us more evidence of stuff inside the pocket, I think it would have helped eliminate some of the conversation about him potentially moving.
And it also, this group of quarterbacks would have been gone.
Yeah,
as
that's
well.
part of it
I know
too.
there's always
Yeah.
another group, but this year there was this group that they talked about with Rosen, Allen, and Darnold. Like, wow, this is a monster group coming this year, and he would have been a year after that, so that may have helped as well.
And I think this about playing quarterback first. Say you go play quarterback first, and let's give him 2.5 years to try to make it work. And
Right.
let's say for some reason it doesn't. I think that it will, but let's say that it doesn't. Then you've learned offense from the quarterback's eyes through the quarterback's eyes for 2.5 years. His running and his quickness and his speed, that's not going to go away.
It's not going anywhere. I agree.
And so I don't know that it's, as detrimental to, what his prospects are at potentially moving at some point. I think the issue just ends up being if you think that, there may be a position switch in the future, how does that affect where you draft him? I think that ends up being the key. But I know this. I know that there are people that, depending on how it all shakes out, would take him in the late first round.
Well,
there are definitely
was the
people.
next question.
There are definitely people.
I think he'll go there.
Right. I think there are some people that don't believe that he will survive the first round. And so I think, like Trey, you said, should you make the switch? Listen, I'm going to put myself in his shoes. If there is any chance that I played quarterback through my college career and I might get drafted in the first round, I'm not even going to answer questions about potentially moving positions.
Look, he's a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback at the collegiate level. So if he goes in the first round, and then you like Mason Rudolph better, Tim Hasselbeck with us in studio, that means the potential maybe 6 quarterbacks might go in the first round.
Which is interesting because I truly believe in this.
You just went Ron George. I truly believe.
Is I said it, and I originally thought Frank Caliendo, and then I thought Jaws. You know what I mean? It was like, it's weird how that happened, right?
So I distracted you. Back to your point.
I think we've overhyped this class. Now, that doesn't mean that there won't be, 6 guys that go in the first round or 5 or 4, whatever it is. But I think this idea that this is this amazing class, this is, Elway in the group. I don't think that is the case.
Listen, we set it up that way, and those quarterbacks have taken that conversation away.
Correct.
Because they have all shown where their highs and lows are enough to where they're still going to get drafted up there because it's a quarterback position. It gets magnified, and I get that. Yeah. But I agree. From what we thought this group was going to be to where it is now, definitely not the talent. It's going to be the numbers in the first round, but not the talent that we thought.
Look, even the legendary class of '83, we talk about the 6 quarterbacks taken in the first round, there were 3 hits and 3 misses.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to call Ken O'Brien a miss because he had a serviceable, good career, but it was Elway, Marino, and Kelly. And then not Elway, Marino, and Kelly with the other 3 with O'Brien, Blackledge, and Champagne Tony Eason. So there's a big difference in 3 of those as opposed to the other 3. So there's this mythical quality about the draft class of '83. It was a 50-50 hit ratio more than anything else.
Which is kind of what it is overall.
That's exactly right. Timmy, you're good.
Hey,
Thanks, Timmy.
it's good to be on with you guys.
Go shave and get a workout in. All right.
Thanks. I'm going to shave too.
Tim.